But that couldn't be further from the truth.
All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It just came to my attention that the Fox TV show 911, about the first responders set in Los Angeles, it just came to my attention that this summer they ran a promo for the upcoming Season 5, which will begin September 20th. But the Season 5 promo debuted on July 20th, date we were looking out for this year for anything curious. July 20th is the 201st day of the year. That's a very special number, if you don't know, to a certain gang. But on the 201st day of this year, this TV show's promo happened, and it's a blackout in Los Angeles. And if you're new here, earlier this year we called power outages on February 14th, Valentine's Day, well before it happened, in what we saw as a ritual coming that was synced up with what was talked about by a Jesuit, Klaus Schwab. This number 201 is very important to the Jesuits. The Jesuits have been simulating blackouts. I'm going to bring it all together here. Maybe not the best job on the intro, but again, this TV show, 911, simulating, or not simulating, but, the episode's going to be about a blackout in Los Angeles, one of the nation's biggest cities. Again, the power outage earlier this year in Houston, at an unlikely time for it to get so cold in Houston. But Houston is the oil refining capital of the world right now, energy. And don't forget that Los Angeles, it's the city that in history was bought up by General Motors, and they ripped out the electric rail, and they said, no, we're not going to build a nice compact city built around an electric rail car. We're going to build a big sprawling city built around the automobile because we're General Motors and we're going to sell a lot of cars. LA is going to really help us in our goals as a company because we got big promises for our shareholders that we're going to return some nice, pennies back into their bank account for investing into us. And again, the same club that's responsible for destroying LA's idea of being built around an electric light rail and making it a smoggy city, they're the same people now that want to tell you about climate change and how you need to get behind their carbon and tax credits. It's the exact same people controlling the whole show. And that's the Jesuit cabal. But look at this, you guys. I'm just going to play the short trailer. You can see on the thumbnail that it says 11 seconds. If you watch it on a cell phone, it would stay as 11, but since I'm on a desktop. If you guys don't know that about YouTube, its thumbnail will always be plus 1 second on a desktop, but not change on a cell phone, which is a really weird thing, but check it out. Watch a video on a desktop, watch a video on a cell phone, and see how it drops a second. Watch this when I click on the trailer. It'll go from 11 seconds to 10. Let's see. And again, you can see the debut date, July 20th, the 201st day of the year. Day of the moon landing in history in gematria. Neil Alden Armstrong equals 201, like the Jesuit order. But notice they got the Paint It Black song going, the music. We just had Charlie Watts of the Rolling Stones, Die by the Numbers, famous Rolling Stones song. I see a red door and I want it painted black. But here's the quick trailer. Transformers blowing. Power out. 911 the blackout. We can't wait to tease you with this show. Fox gonna make money mocking off, their planned intentions for us at some point. Again, you guys, look what's etched in stone in Georgia. Raise a nation to hate each other, turn the power out on them. NBC makes a hit show off at Revolution. 911 teasing here. There's been a lot of predictive programming for what they got planned with us. Janet Napolitano, when she stepped down from Department of Homeland Security in 2013, said, the next 9/11's not a matter of if, but when, and it'll be the power grid going down. She said that would be the next 9/11. Janet Napolitano, who was the politician in Arizona from New York. Last year, the hip-hop group from New York, Public Enemy, put out the album What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down. They had what's that town called? Holiday, Arizona? I cannot think right now. The cover of the Public Enemy album, though, for What You're Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down, it's got Monument Valley, Arizona. That's where it's on the cover there. Monument Valley. And Arizona's birthday is Valentine's Day, which is the day the power grid went down all throughout the nation, but especially in Houston, where they got unprecedented weather and a lot of people froze. So, anyhow, you got this teaser on the 201st day of the year. If you saw my work predicting the blackouts for Valentine's Day, we were saying how it would be a Jesuit ritual. It did happen. It was perfectly synced up with the Jesuit Klaus Schwab, as we said. Now you got this on the 201st day of the year, and we're talking about 201 damn near every day. And the Jesuits, again, if you're new here, notice how they like to show the 118 everywhere in the Los Angeles-centered show 911. Remember, tomorrow, September 4th, it happens to be September 3rd today. Tomorrow will be Los Angeles' birthday. Los Angeles was established September 4th, 1781. The day leaving 118 days left in the year. The city that's on the 118th meridian west. Again, they like to show the 118 fire department in this show in L.A., and in Gematria, Los Angeles, California is 118. I point out that so is Paradise, California, because both Los Angeles and Paradise burned with unprecedented wildfires in LA on November 8th, 118. And the current mayor of the city is Eric Garcetti, 118. The last season of this show started on January 18th, 118. Happened to end on May 24th, the 144th day of the year. And as we know, Jesuit Orders 144. You put a "the" in front of it. The Jesuit Orders 201. Jesuit Orders also 54, and this trailer debuted a span of 54 days before September 11th. Last year, the big ritual on September 11th was on the West Coast. It was Portland, Oregon. If you guys weren't here, I'll just show you how this works. Last year, well before September 11th, 2020 rolled around, I said, just watch. September 11th, Portland, Oregon, you're going to see something bad. The reason why is because it was the 106th day of the I Can't Breathe Black Lives Matter protest. You see how I Can't Breathe equals 106 when you run the alphabetic order? If you write out Black Lives Matter, it equals 106 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse. Just the word black alone is 106 when you run the alphabetic order in reverse. I said, just watch. Portland's having the longest ongoing I Can't Breathe Black Lives Matter protest. And September 11th will be the 106th day of it, and that's the day the George Floyd pre-murder trial begins. And sure enough, Portland, Oregon made the international headlines for the massive wildfires around the city. And they said Portland had the worst air quality in the world, and like unprecedentedly bad air quality because of the fires. I can't breathe, bad air. September 11th, 106th day of the protests. Again, if you're new here, these are the base ciphers. You got to know all these ciphers to understand the ritual. Last year, Texas released a statue of, was it the first Black Heisman winner? It was one of their Black Star athletes, Texas, but they released the statue on the day leaving 34 days left in the year. The Obama book, A Promised Land, came out on the day leaving 44 days left in the year, number 44 last year, but 106 days after his birthday. Just the other day on September 2nd, what did they do? Was it the Elijah? I already forget. I cover so much stuff. They just did something with race on September 2nd, just the other day. Yesterday. Was it the Elijah McClain thing? I cover so much stuff I can't think. Writing a book and everything right now. All these numbers, though, get used ritualistically. In Revelation 1:14, or I should point out that Revelation, you see how Revelation's 121? 121 has a square root of 11. Revelation 1:14 gives the physical description of Jesus, and the way he's described, he'd have very dark skin and hair that's described as being like wool. So, again, there's a lot to this, but anyhow, coming back. From July 20th, the debut of this trailer, to September 11th is a span of 54 days. Jesuit Orders 54, terrorism's 54, Islam's 54, right? That's what they'd done to us in the 21st century, in the time of 9/11, painted Islam as terrorism. The mainstream media programming and lying and blaming boogeymen for operations of, New World Order Kabbalists, 9/11 included. But don't forget Osama bin Laden from his March 10th birthday, which is, from his March 10th birthday to May 2nd, he died on his 54th day of his age. Osama bin Laden, the Islamic terrorist, right? Died on his 54th day of his age. And today just happens to be the 54-year anniversary of his father's death. Just pointing that out. 54th year anniversary of his father's death, who supposedly died in a plane crash on the day, leaving 119 days left in the year. Kind of like 11/9, how the majority of the world writes 11/9. Again, Osama's father was a builder who died in a plane crash. 9/11 was planes into a building. Notice the day his father died, 9/3, like the 93 World Trade Center bombing. It was a date with 79 numerology. Osama bin Laden, Society of Jesus, Knights Templar, they're all 79. The Society of Jesus has the Templar cross in their logo. The 3 nails that represent the crucifixion of Jesus, Triclavianism. And, of course, their logo is the sun, which is another 54, but Triclavianism's 93. Like they say, the sun's 93 million miles away. You know, this ritual, this thing with 9/11, the TV show, the power outage in sunny Los Angeles, the City of Angels. You know, talk about predictive programming in a name. What are angels associated with? Triclavianism, 93, right? God's Son, 93. Nazareth, 93. Crucifix, 93. The sun, 93 million miles away. The Catholic Church, paganism. The Council of Nicaea, 325 AD, with Constantine, a name that starts with con, like how they like to con us. And this is a form of conning too, you know, making money off of entertaining people about what's foreshadowed, if not for them, you know, their children's generation, their ancestors, you know, the ongoing show. Laugh about it now, wait till we pull the plug, you know. And thanks for watching our entertainment and making us some more money off our Ponzi scheme where we record all the... You start to realize, you know, just the way the world is, it's just one big sick joke, man, how much the advertising costs. But then you realize, like, these networks, these companies that always have the advertisements, it's really just part of a cabal, right? And they make it way too expensive for anyone else to compete. You know, meanwhile, they print off the money, control your government, control your religion, control your entertainment. Again, the Jesuits, you guys, they're in the light, the sunlight, like the Catholics on Sunday. And again, all this stuff comes back to the sun and rituals and time and the Gregorian calendar, a solar-based calendar named after the Catholic Pope, a calendar established decades after the Jesuits were recognized by the church, at the same time English was standardized. I mean, it's just so obvious, you guys. All their stuff is just so perfect, man. It's so perfect how they do it. And with regards to the trailer being on the 201st day of the year, again, in the most simple cipher, Neil Alden Armstrong is 201. The alphabetic order. The first man to walk on the moon landing July 20th, the 201st day of the year. Again, the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, right? 201. The first Jesuit pope publicly, at least, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, 201, right? He's the first pope to live at Suite 201 at the Vatican. Pope Francis. You see how this article was put out March 26/3? Like 263, the 56th prime? Remember, Pope is 56. Society of Jesus is 56. You see how Society of Jesus is 79, like we talked about with Osama bin Laden, 79. Knights Templar, 79. His father dead on a 79 date numerology. His father's name equals 187. But... again, Pope 56, Society of Jesus 56. This story put out on 26/3 about him being the first to live in Suite 201. 263 is the 56 prime. Look at what day the new 9/11 season begins. Begins on September 20th, the 263rd day of the year, right? The 56 prime. The day leaving 102 days left in the year. The reflection of 201. And again, that 102 number is no joke either. 201 was the coronavirus event simulation 1 month before the outbreak, and then they said it was the first pandemic in 2020 in 102 years since World War I and World Wars 102 and Art of Wars 102, which is translated by a Jesuit. You know, the war is like a psychological war. Social distancing, stay away from everybody, social distancing 102. The list goes on. But this date that it starts, you know what else I got to say? Remember, September 11th, the attack lasted 102 minutes, Al-Qaeda's 102 in Jewish gematria, and the attack was simulated by the federal government on June 1st, 2001, with a document with Osama bin Laden's face on the cover, Project Amalgam Virgo, exactly 102 days before 9/11 happened. So, We'll see what they do. I'd be surprised if the power grid went out on September 11th in LA, because in a way, to me, it would seem too obvious. New York, LA on 9/11, it'd just be like, come on, man, that's going to wake up everybody, unless that's the final countdown, man, and we're already that close. People finally wake up when it's too late. I've always said it'll be too late when people wake up, but man, would that be something if they did LA super hard and beyond that this time, and it's just like, man, they got New York on 9/11 and then LA, and people still don't fucking see it. They even predicted it in their damn TV show that everyone was ready to watch. Can't wait to watch the games and then 9/11. The same people that never caught on to 9/11, Patriot Act, Patriots. In 1968, when World Trade Center construction began and 911 was made the national emergency dialing code, that happened to be the only season the New York Jets went on to win the Super Bowl. Again, you guys, they got us so entertained with the mockery of our existence. And again, somehow the people are just too dumb to see that all this isn't a coincidence. Talking about the same shit over and over. But unbelievable, man. I wasn't aware of this until just now. So great job with the comments today. You guys are proving exactly why I shouldn't have blocked the comments. I blocked the comments for the first ever time on my channel for about 24 hours. I just couldn't stand watching all the Christian idiots. And again, I don't mean that all Christians are idiots, but a lot are. And I just hate reading their comments. You shill, you don't believe in Jesus. It's like, okay, I was raised Lutheran. I believe in God. I sit here and serve humanity every single day, putting out undeniable knowledge so that we can try and stop evil. But again, that's not enough for the Christians. All they care about is if you believe in Jesus, and can't see why they're the fucking problem. Because you guys are brain dead idiots. You can't see the truth right in front of your fucking face. Despite all the Sunday worship and everything I've been showing you. And the most evil gang in the world just happens to be who? The Society of Jesus. And they might be wolves in sheep's clothing, and I know Jesus isn't supposed to be evil, but again, most Christians I've met have made me think that the story of him is not a good thing for humanity. And I don't think any of these religions are, Here, I'll tell you one more thing about 201 before we close out. Muhammad Ali 201. And don't forget, we predicted his death at age 74, 4 years before it happened. Well, not quite, but about 3 years before it happened, 2013. The reason we said he'd die at 74 is because Muhammad's 74. But when I made that prediction, I didn't know reverse gematria, and I didn't know very much about 201. But what I did know is kill him by the code and the significance of 74 in the killing code. But remember, what I did point out the day he died was he died on June 3rd, 2016, 6-3. They say the Prophet Muhammad died at age 63, right? And 2016 is the 63rd triangular number. So Muhammad Ali dies on 6-3 in 2016, a date that has a double connection to 63 when they say the Prophet Muhammad died at 63. And again, here, since Islam's based in the Torah, like all the Abrahamic religions are. Abrahamic, by the way, you guys, is 187. There's 187 chapters in the Torah. Society of Jesus is 187. Osama bin Laden's father's name's 187. But, and we also recently learned, Adam and Eve had 56 children. Adam and Eve, 56 children. Abrahamic, 56. Society of Jesus, 56. But Genesis 46, the beginning of the Torah, it begins with a sacrifice. You see how sacrifice is 46? So is Phoenix. That's where Muhammad Ali died. And Phoenix is also 98, like Prophet, like the Prophet Muhammad. There's a lot more to it, but all of this stuff is ritual, and it's all being done by this Society of Jesus cabal. I don't know that Islam was really created by the Catholic Church, but I think it's entirely possible. To me, it would make a lot of sense. Again, I've contended that the same people who gave us all the religions of the Bible are all part of this, divide and conquer gang that goes all the way back to Babylon and possibly even beyond that. Language started in Sumer, became part of Babylon. But, the religion is only here to divide us, you guys. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. But yeah, sweet 201, Pope Francis, first Jesuit Pope. More Jesuit predictive programming for their next planned world disaster, terrorizing the people of it. Don't forget the movie The Two Popes. Jonathan Pryce plays Pope Francis. Would you believe his name's 201? Again, look up the Jesuit history. They were saved by Catherine the Great of Russia with the 201 Jesuits. They just happened to make a show about Catherine the Great right after Event 201 and the coronavirus pandemic. And coronavirus got the same gematria as Society of Jesus. And don't forget, the pandemic was declared on Anthony Fauci's 79th day of being 79 years old. Anthony Fauci equals coronavirus equals Society of Jesus, right? Equals toilet paper, equals mind control, equals Washington, D.C., equals Paris, France, where the Jesuits are from, equals 56. You know, everyone went out and bought up all the toilet paper. Everyone went out and got afraid of Middle Eastern people because the TV said that 9/11 was done by a man in a cave. And again, it's just amazing that people cannot see what is being done here, especially after 8 years of spelling it out, man. I mean, you guys, I don't know how many videos I made now. I passed 10,000 a long time ago. I mean, think about that. Think about how much time it takes to make 10,000 videos. And if you probably did the average length of those videos, I mean, on average, they got to be over 10 minutes long, all the videos combined, some much longer than that. I mean, just so much content put into the world that's truly unfucking deniable, and people still, somehow in the information age, haven't woken up to what's going on, man. It's sick. It's sick. They're too busy listening to Jay-Z. And don't ever forget his album that came out on September 11th, 2001, The Blueprint, when he's Rockefeller Records, and the Rockefellers were proposed by, the Rockefellers proposed the World Trade Center project that began in 68. Rockefeller equals 56 like Society of Jesus, and that family was Standard Oil. By the way, Standard Oil equals Jesuit Order. Standard Oil had the Jesuit, Society of Jesus in Latin on the logo in 1870. Rockefeller's 56. Again, don't ever forget it, you guys. Just the predictive programming all over how these people do it. Rockefeller, 56,187. Society of Jesus, 56,187. Paris, France, 56,187, where the Jesuits are from. Washington, D.C., the modern stronghold, 56,187. Anthony Fauci, the biggest Jesuit scum you see the most of these days. His name's actually the exact same as Washington, D.C. in all four ciphers. And again, the pandemic was declared March 11, 2020, his 79th day of being 79 years old, man born on Christmas Eve. But yeah, you guys, again, entertainment synced up with world plans. Public Enemy perfectly synced up with the blackouts this year in Houston, as J.J. Watt wanted out of town from Houston while the Watts were out. Watts are power, right? Don't forget Watts. Damn, man, I just thought, that is sick. Oh my God. The drummer, you guys, I got to play the trailer one more time. The drummer for the Rolling Stones is Watts. Charlie Watts. Remember Watts, 83, dead 83 days from his birthday? They got the Rolling Stones song on this trailer. Let me play it one more time and we'll close it out. That was the connection I was missing. J.J. Watt and what they did in Houston, and Charlie Watts and the Rolling Stones, and Paint It Black, the Rolling Stones song right here. Man, you guys, it is fucked. It's fucked how they do it. His death was August 24th. You know what? I already put that in the notes, but I didn't think about the Watts thing. From his death to 9/11 is a span of 19 days. And the 19 hijackers on 9/11, 19 years later, COVID-19 pandemic. And I was telling you 5 years before it happened that in 2020, 19 years after 9/11, man, chaos 19. From Charlie Watts' death to September 11th will be his a span of 19 days. He died August 24th. Dude. Watts, man, now I get it. Man, it is fucked how they do it, man. These people are fucking sick. Again, Charlie Watts dead on a 73 date numerology. Rolling Stone 73. Los Angeles is 37. Brian Jones, first member of the Rolling Stones to die, died on July 3rd. Charlie Watts dead 83 days after his birthday. Murder 83. Murder by Numbers movie poster codes the 38, the 83. Watts 83. Colorado equals 83 and 38. It's the 38th state like murder. You had the Watts family killings. Colorado. But yeah, now I'm seeing it, man. The J.J. Watt thing and Charlie Watts, Rolling Stone. Wow. Don't forget the Quran code goes back to the number 19, and it was discovered in 68, the same year World Trade Center construction began, and 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. I'm going to leave it there for now, Truth Seeker. Until next time.